I don't even know where to start. Number one, thank you for your dedication and support of mission work. On behalf of the elders of Pleasant Valley Church of Christ in Van Buren, Arkansas, I want to thank you for helping us a little bit with the work in Thailand and Laos. Mission work is, he was talking about new things in Isaiah this morning. I'm a retired grocerman. My claim to fame is I can build the best looking display of Van Camp pork and beans in the state of Arkansas. But when I was 57, our family business had done well. My dad was passing away of dementia. Head bookkeeper got brain cancer and in 8 weeks died. She's been a bookkeeper for 30 plus years. 2 management team members wanted to retire. And my mother wanted me to retire. So I got the hint, maybe I need to retire. So I retired and had time on my hands. If you ever retire, do not tell anybody, especially if your mother is still alive, because then you can start working for your mother and your wife. Oh, that's a deal. But how I got involved in mission work, 1990, we started attending a church, West Ark Church of Christ in Fort Smith, Arkansas. And they had a tremendous missions program. And why was it a tremendous missions program? There was 4 or 5 men there that were missionaries going back and forth and supporting teams. 2 of them I really got attracted to. One of them was Ethiopia. And if you're here last night, I told you the story about Darth Vader anyway, and that's when I met Habtu in 2010. The other mission work was Thailand and Laos. And that one hit home to our congregation. 1998, and I left that page out. 1998, Jerry and Meg Canfield, go back, 1996, they decided they wanted to move to Laos and be missionaries. He's the city attorney for Fort Smith, Arkansas. They went to Arizona State University to learn an intensive language course into the learn Laotian language. 1997, they buy or rent a home in Vientiane, Laos. Laos is a communist nation. Heavy Buddhist and spiritual on religion. Spiritualists, said that wrong. And there was a congregation in Vientiane. They got to know them and started working with them. 1998, they were one of the members. She owned a restaurant. And they were meeting there and studying Revelation. 31 of them. 3 Americans, a Thai national, and a lady from France. All of a sudden, what we would call SWAT, 30 agents appeared around the restaurant and seized it and arrested them for, basically, it comes down to being Christian. Jerry and Meg, Senator Tim Hutchison at the time in Arkansas, our State Department, got them out in 5 days. And Jerry wouldn't leave till they got the Thai minister out and the lady from France. And I was like, wow. I think if they'd opened the door, I would have been the first one running and hoped my wife could keep up. But they stayed there and they got them out. They were sentenced to 3 years, the Lao men and women. They let the women out, kept the men. Prisons in Laos were similar to Roman. They had to provide their own food and everything. So not only did they lose their jobs, they're in prison, the rest of them had to support them. The economy isn't great in Laos. But they did. In a year and a half, the jailers went to the wardens and to the government saying, these people are not against us. They're good people. And they let them out. So our congregation, of course, was intensely praying for them, and that really drew me to this work. They kept trying to get me to go. Wouldn't go. So finally, in 2010, I went to Ethiopia instead. But when I retired, our congregation was asked to take the oversight. I'd gone to Pleasant Valley where my parents were worshiping. And they asked our congregation to be the oversight congregation. Our elders, I was on vacation. Our elders said, we'll do it if Chuck will be the contact. And I wasn't in town and I missed a meeting. Let that be a lesson for all the men in here. If there is a meeting and you're afraid you're going to get nominated, go. You can get your name out of it. But anyway, if you want to go ahead and Can you go to the slides? We'll run through these slides on Thailand Laos real quick. I promise. Because as a song leader, I don't like it when the minister goes too long. Also, if you're visiting today, come back next Sunday. You'll hear the good guy. I am a song leader, and that's about it.
Chuck, we don't have any slides.
The PowerPoint I gave you last night, you downloaded? Falls Church?
We'll get it. Just a sec.
And I want to thank the sound guys and the audiovisual guys in any congregation. And usually in order, the preacher gets picked on the most, then the song leader, and now the audiovisual guys. But see, they've got to work with people like me. So they can only do so much. But anyway, our congregation agreed to take it over. There is a team. Oh, how about that? I can see it. It is called Thai Lao for the Savior. Is this working? Is it? Okay. If you didn't know where Thailand was, it's in yellow. Yep. And Laos is in green. Right at where the LAO, just to the left of that is the capital of Vientiane. Luang Prabang is what we're going to talk about a little bit too. So when you go over there, typically you fly into Bangkok, or I know you support missions in Vietnam, you can fly into Hanoi, come in the other way. Next slide. We have Bangkok how Bangkok developed in the 1997 Patinya Titathon. They started basically a campus ministry program at Ramakong University. They got about 120,000 students, teaching English using the Bible. And out of that, they formed a Bangkok Servant Leadership Institute. It's 3 years of study in the dorm. They provide food, they learn English, Bible, and they visit churches around Thailand and Laos. We teach them a skill, and we have about 20 students a year. Right now, since COVID, all our students are from Laos. And we do online with the students in Bangkok. Ramakong Christian Center is now headquartered at the Wat Pho Phoron Church of Christ. The Wat Pho Phoron Church of Christ is a congregation, 300 to 400 members. It's a fantastic congregation. They're very welcoming. About half of them speak English, so it's a good place to go. Thai Lao for the Savior is the staff that operates BSLI. Managed church planting, buildings, organized meetings, provides support to churches. Send the Light Foundation is our government agency that we do all the legal stuff under. If you've heard of Agape International, Save Asian Souls that operate safe houses for girls in Southeast Asia, Save Asian Souls uses our registration to operate houses in Thailand, and we use it also for Laos. Next slide. When we took the work over, it's a good work, but I have a career in management, and we decided, it's one work. The time we took it over, there were 6 different congregations contributing 6 different bank accounts to 6 different people at 6 different times. I didn't think that was efficient because I didn't want to wrap my hands around that. I wanted something we could understand and put on one piece of paper. So we sat down with our elders. We sat down with the team when I went over to Thailand, along with Jerry and Meg. And they came up with this, the team. One work, one goal, one team, one budget, one account. Now you think why do you have budget and account on there? It's oneness. And that's the church, oneness. Next slide. That is our team. The old guy gray hair, his name is Patinya. He was trained at Sunset. He is trained as a chemical engineer. He worked in Saudi Arabia, very highly compensated individual, but he felt the need to go back to Thailand. He is from Laos. His family crossed the Mekong River at night when it was communist and snuck out of the country because they were Christian and they knew they would be persecuted. So in the mid-90s, 97, they decided to go back and started the campus ministry program. The gentleman sitting next to him is Mek. Love their names. He is an elder in Wat Pho Phoron. He is also the new director. Patinya is going to now focus totally on Laos, and Mek will be the leader of the program. This is who we support. We do not support local congregations. As in Nigeria, they can't buy metal roof. So we do provide a metal roof if they want to build a building. In Thailand has money. But we support this team that goes out, works with them. If they want to do things, we're there to help. And we're there to train leaders to go back into the field. Next slide. This is, one of our elders told me I had to have this in the presentation. Pleasant Valley Church of Christ is overseeing congregation. There's Thai Works, Lao Works. Then, anyway, next. I did that. You can tell them I showed this slide. Church of Christ in Thailand in 2025. I had some neat little text back and forth because this isn't updated, and I did not get exact numbers. I know we're not all about numbers. Estimated members at 4,000. It's a little higher than that. This hadn't been updated. 80 local congregations plus 4 in the last 2 years. Next slide. This is the opposite. This is a communist country. This is a country that arrested our members in 1998 and thought we were going against the government. We were Christians. We were like Solidarity was in Poland back in the 80s, if you remember that. We're not. 20 local congregations, 2 planted in the last 2 months. Organic. Preaching the Word of God. I've been to Luang Prabang, Laos, which is right above the A. First time I went, everything's great. You know, check in, they get your passport, and you've got to get visas, you've got to do everything to get into Laos. Second time I go back, 6 months later, I go into the hotel. Oh, Mr. Combs, you're back. Are you here to talk to your friends about God? One of 2 things was getting ready to happen. I did not like the first one I thought of. I'm like, here we go. I'm going to jail. Because that is it's a reality. It's not a fear, it's a reality. And the other one is curiosity. It's curiosity. Luang Prabang is the UNESCO World Heritage Site. So for the communist government, that's going to be their city to the west, the open city. And a lot of young people are moving there. And they want hope. It's simply amazing. Anyway, growing area. Next slide. Is that maybe the last slide. Is that the last slide?
Got one more.
Pardon?
One more. Churches of Christ in Southern Laos. So it's northern and southern.
Okay, yeah, got that one. This is the one where the big star is. Anybody working with this work, even the Thai people, the Lao people down in Vientiane, they're excited about Luang Prabang. The guys that were in prison in 98, there's a high-speed train, it's $13 one way. A lot of money to them, not much to us. They go up there and work with them. This kind of shows, you got Laos, you got northern Laos, central Laos, so you've got Luang Prabang in the north, Vientiane, then Pak Se basically in the south. Next slide. Mine went out. Yeah, Pak Se, Savannakhet, don't do a lot of work down there right now because the focus is on the north. Next slide. Bangkok, 71 million people in Thailand, 18 of them in Bangkok, 1,200 7-Elevens. One of them is between 150 and 200 feet apart. There's 2 7-Elevens on this road. It's just, anyway. Large city, major cities all over Thailand. It's constitutional monarchy, religion, freedom, still heavy. The national religion is Buddhism, about 40% practice. Next slide. This is the back of Wat Chuporan. I didn't have a picture from the front. That's water. That church is built on an old landfill. They cleaned it out, filled it with water, and built a church on top of it. They've got engineers that go there. This is a walkway from our BSLI building where we have fellowships, we've got rooms, meeting rooms, teaching rooms, then we have the dorms on top. That got damaged. The reason I took this picture, this was damaged in the earthquake back in February, the day I got there. I'm bad luck. I was in Israel on October 7th also. Next slide. This is one of the students' classes. The guy in the red, he lives there. The guy next to him is 17 years old. He's from Pleasant Valley Church of Christ. He's teaching English to the students. And it works. Next slide. This is our staff room. The old white guy that looks like Santa Claus in the upper corner, he's one of our elders in Pleasant Valley. Next slide. This is the inside of their auditorium. If you didn't know better, where would you think you were? Anywhere in the world. I mean, it looks like a church building. And it's kind of like your building. The acoustics are great. Next slide. They love to eat. They know they're a Church of Christ. Next slide. They got a kitchen, but they grill all their meats outside. Now, I'm from the South. You know, we hear, you know, if you run over it, if it's not dead too long, take it home and grill it. Slap some barbecue sauce on it, dinner. But these folks can cook. If you like to eat, you need to go to Thailand and Laos. Anyway, next. Vientiane, capital of Laos. 8 million people in Laos, 1 million in the city. It is a French colony. It was a French city. If you notice that, that's their Arch of Triomphe. It's their victory arch. It's done by the French. You notice the streets are really wide and everything. They are in the capital. Now you leave the capital, it's dirt roads, gravel roads, and nothing. No religious freedom, communist, Buddhism background, and it's starting to open up. Next slide. The guy on that guy, Patinia Titathon, Mitchell Moxley from Pleasant Valley, and that's the restaurant where they got arrested. If you look, you can see the chairs in there. This is on a main road. Their national school is right across the street. Then past the chairs over there, there is a private, it's their home, and there's one big meeting room. That's where we're eating. When they told us this is where they were arrested, and my wife looked at me, she said, "Where's the closest exit?" You know, even though it was 20 years difference, or 15 years difference, and the best Asian food I've ever had in my life in that restaurant. And lunch will set you back about $3. So get your $1,000 plane ticket to go eat a $3 meal. It's worth it. Next picture. Okay, this is Luang Prabang. We have engineers at the church in Bangkok. They engineered. We had the opportunity when I was over there 2 years ago that the men from Luang Prabang, 3 of them asked us to come see them. So we took the train up there, and we've been talking to our local officials. They said we can build a building. And we said, for what? For church. Well, there's no church buildings in Laos. The word Church of Christ, the word Christ is not on any sign in the country of Laos. Even if you are registered in the country of Laos, you don't put that up there. Baptists don't have their name, nothing, nobody does. So they were all worried, said, well, what if we do this? The communists can take it back. Yep. And then they asked my opinion, and I said, first of all, it's an opinion. I don't live here. But I said, if we can have that building for one day, it's worth it. We cannot be thinking of salvation based on terms of dollar signs. So they got an engineer to do it. That land is a little over an acre. In the growing part of Luang Prabang, it was $30,000. Which we go, nothing. And they're over there going, how are we ever going to pay for this? I said, guys, if you want to do it, we'll go figure out a way to do it. That building will hold, we laugh, it'll hold 150 Americans or 200 Laotians. If you can see, we've designed it, it's open air. We can pull those windows back. It's not quite finished yet. It was built totally by the members of the church. I think we paid them $30 a week for the men to do it, which was really good wage in Laos. Where the motorcycle is, they can see it kind of smooth that out. That's where they lived. They built basically what you call a cardboard shanty. And they stayed there 24 hours a day. And they rotated men in and out going from the village for security. This is huge. The churches in Laos and Thailand, Ethiopia is the same way. 15 congregations will use this building. They will have an event there at least once a month, whether it's a teen event, whether it's a couples event, whether it's a leadership training event. And right next to it, a piece of property we're getting ready to buy to build the new school. We'll have the kitchen and everything else. In those 2 properties, they'll put tents all over the place for a weekend and have events. Because they draw hope and strength from meeting together. They do not have electricity and water in most of these towns and villages. You go across the Mekong River to get to the other side, and you go up these roads, and all of a sudden you go to a village. There's a congregation, and there's a member that graduated from the Bangkok Leadership Institute that has come to the village to preach the gospel. Now, if you came from Laos and you were trained in Bangkok and you had electricity, running water, bathrooms, all the food you could eat, you couldn't pay them to stay in Bangkok. They were going home. When they go back to a village, we went to one of them and we were there on a Monday. If they weren't out working in a farm, they met with us. We had 70 people meet with us on a Monday on a trip going over there. We went down this one road for 2 hours, hit 5 congregations. Amazing. These people are genuine. Once it hits a village, these kids will convert the village. And most of them are younger people. Now, I'm 61. I'm younger, like 30-year-old. And they ask questions about the gospel. They ask me, number one, why am I here? Well, that puts you on the spot. Jesus, that's the first answer he learned. But then how can we help you build that relationship? Next picture. This is a living room of the largest, it's the village leader in one of them, and that becomes the church building. That's, 2 of our elders and his son. Next picture. One of the things they do at BSLI, we train these students to go out. We train them in vocational. One of our guys is really good in woodworking. They build pews, they build pulpits, they build church signs. That right there is very effective in Thailand at drawing attention. That's kind of their social media part of it. And also it's a source of pride for the members. Hey, we're telling people we're the Church of Christ. And in a Buddhist nation, that's a message. So we teach them a lot of things so they can go back to their congregations, help them. When we're building the school in Luang Prabang, we are going to be a vocational school. In biblical, we are going to train them to raise catfish, frogs, and other vegetables. And you can use a baby wading pool, but they use tarps, and we raise catfish and frogs, and they sell them in the market so these villagers can have income. They can get water. They got plenty of rain. But now they can take stuff so their village can make money. They can have money to go buy things to help their village. You notice I said village, I didn't say member, I didn't say family. They do things as a village, as a community. It's beautiful. Next, be the last one. The other thing they do is church encouragement. They try to revitalize older congregations. Thailand and Laos, not many churches have elders. In the Buddhist religion, desire is bad. What does it say about being an elder? You have a desire. Well, elders must be bad. Our elders are doing Zoom classes with potential leaders, and we're starting with those men in Laos, those guys that were in prison, that have persevered. Guys, you are elders, but we have to train the congregation that desire is not bad. You train the men that it's not bad, then you have the chance to get elders. And we face, to a smaller extent, the same thing in Thailand. Anyway, that's the Thai Lao work. I will be going back over either in November or February. Please pray for the work. 3 ways on how we can support mission work. I read Romans 12, 1-13. I wasn't really involved in mission work. We had missions weekend. We had mission Sunday. Went to church with 4 men that had been in the mission field all over the world. And then I went to Ethiopia. Because here's the deal. What good can I do in Ethiopia? I'm an old, fat, retired guy from Arkansas. And going to a deaf school. I can give them a hug. Because they were hugging me. Number one, I'm there. Their opinion, why would somebody from the United States ever come to my country? Jesus. Your presence in going is going to bless you more than you think. You don't know what it means to them. I learned that in 2010. And it made a difference. I'd been on international campaigns in college. I'd go for a month or two. I'd come home, go back to work, go play golf, study, whatever. When I got back in 2010, there's more to this. So I wanted to share 3 ways that we have worked with Pleasant Valley. When I went to Pleasant Valley in 2010, in 2015, I finally got brave enough to talk to him about mission work and how we could all join together. My goal, personal goal with my dad, I was telling him, we've got to get people involved in mission work. You go back to Antioch, Paul and Barnabas, Paul and Silas. The elders sent them out. When they sent them out, what do you think those elders thought about a week later? I wonder how they're doing. Pray for them. What did they do? They kept praying for them. So the first thing we can all do to support mission work, pray. I don't know how, I've read your mission works. I saw them again this morning. I don't know how many mission works you have. What we do at Pleasant Valley, every month we designate it toward a certain mission. To pray for that mission every day. We go to our kids in Sunday morning class. They color pictures. We send them to that group that month. What does that do? That gets our kids involved in mission work. It gets it on their mind. And I delivered a set to Thailand. For an hour and a half, they sat and wept because I carried an envelope full of pictures and letters from our congregation. They said they'd never seen that before in their lives. And when I got back from Thailand and Laos, guess what? Some of these little kids, what'd you do in Thailand? Do you have McDonald's? You know, I got the important questions. But they were asking me about a mission work. And I tell them, you keep doing that. And would you pray for them every day? Yeah. We need to start. Gave me the songbook, the lead about how to read music today. We started with the kids. Mission work starts with our children and goes up through us with daily prayer and remind us of what we have going on. Romans 12, verse 12. Rejoice in hope, be patient in tribulation, be constant in prayer. John 17:9. Jesus prayed for his disciples. Must be important. Ephesians 1:16. Paul remembered the saints in Ephesus in prayer. 1 Thessalonians 5:17. Paul told the Thessalonians to pray without ceasing. It's constantly on our minds. Our conversation with our Father. I worked in the grocery business for 50 years. The guy next to me was my dad. We talked every day. We argued every day. We loved each other every day. We should have that relationship with our Heavenly Father. The action. Pray for God's blessing on our mission works. Whether it's in Pennsylvania, whether it's in Ethiopia, Nicaragua, or Italy. Pray for the overall work. Pray for the team leaders. They need encouragement. Them knowing we're praying for them is encouraging to them. We pray that the seed to be planted on good soil. We ask God to prepare that soil for us so we can plant and water. Eddie Clore, retired university professor from Harding University. He said, Chuck, there's no power in prayer. And I was like, lightning's going to hit. The power is in God. Our path to the power is prayer. We need to use that. God wants to hear from us. Number 2, participation. Verse 7 and 8. In our serving, the one who teaches, and is teaching, the one who exhorts in his exhortation. Matthew 28:19. What's the first word Jesus said? Go. He didn't say form a committee. That's how they finally got me to go. What am I going to say when these guys say, okay, you're either going to Thailand or Ethiopia? Okay, I'll go to Ethiopia. Go. How many are in high school here? This is participation time. Yeah, anybody in high school? Oh, come on. Okay, stand up if you're in high school or college. Hey, if I could give you an all-expenses-paid trip next summer for 10 days, would you go? I'm putting him on the spot. Isn't this great? You two need to go to Ethiopia. Hadtu, will you take them? There he is. Will you take them? Okay. Get with your parents, get the calendar, y'all are going. I'm kidding, sit down. Go. And go when you can. Because someday you may not be able to. Take that opportunity. It's nerve-wracking. I was laughing when we got back to fly home on Lufthansa. I was telling Sophie the other night. And I think I'm a tough guy. I got on the airplane. We had about an hour to take off. I leaned my chair back. And I kind of got startled, and I heard something. So I woke up. It was the landing gear coming down into Frankfurt, Germany. I'd fallen asleep. It couldn't wake me up, so they let me keep my seat back and just let me sleep. I was emotionally worn out. But it gave me more focus on the abilities I've been given. What can you do? You can shake hands. You can greet them. You can hug them. And it's great. 2 Corinthians 2:14, through us spreads the fragrance of the knowledge of Him everywhere. We have great social media opportunities. We have Zoom. You can teach a Zoom class in Ethiopia if you can get a translator. You can do one. I do one in Thailand and Laos, but I have a translator. It's 12 hours difference. So there's 7 o'clock class. I get up 7 in the morning and I do a class. I'm a student of the Bible. I am not a scholar. But if they give me a subject and give me enough time, I can help point them in that direction where they can study. You can send an email. You can send a WhatsApp message. I'm getting good at this. You can send them a card. Your kids can color letters, pictures and letters. If we do prayer and if we participate, the third P is the easy one. Giving. It's not a P. I changed it. It's giving. Verse 8b, those who contribute in generosity. Some people have been given the ability to give. If you earn $34,000 a year, you're in the upper 2% of the world's income. Contribute to the needs of the saints and seek to show hospitality. This congregation is already a giving congregation. One thing that we were trying to figure out how to raise the budget at Pleasant Valley, and we came up with this deal. You know, how many of y'all go out to eat once a week? Okay, I do. Got to thinking one day, how do we raise money? How much is, if you got iced tea, Diet Coke, is $2.50 an easy number you're going to pay for that by the time you do tax and tip? I like $2.50 because it's an easy number for me. And let's say there's 4 in your family. You go to a restaurant. Would one meal a week you get water instead of that and save that $10 and give it to the mission work? Your kids can help. They can get water for one meal, can't they? I mean, I had Kool-Aid growing up. $10 per family. How many? Let's say you have 100 families. That's pert near $500 a week. If you did it for 52 weeks, how much money is that? $25,000. 2015, our missions budget was at $50,000. We have a congregation of 200. Not counting my family, we've been blessed, but we have another foundation. We will hit $220,000 this year. That's over $1,100 per member. And we are in rural Arkansas. Hadtu's been there. Are we rural? If I had to tell somebody how to get there, I'd... But why? Because we're talking about it every day. We're praying about it every day. It's in our bulletins every day. It's in our auditorium every day. When you come in this month, I think we've switched to India. If you've not read anything on India and what's going on in the church, 100,000 baptisms a year. Amazing work. It will encourage you, but keep it in front. If we do that, if we be personally committed to be active in His work, that's what God's desire is for us. Romans 12, make this a part of our spiritual worship to God. If we take care of Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday will take care of themselves. This group right here is the closest thing we're going to get to heaven. Why wouldn't we want to meet together? Last I saw on a calendar, there's 21 meals a week. Can we not share one with each other or two on a Monday, on a day that's not Wednesday or Sunday? I mean, last night, thank you. The people that prepared it, people did everything, great night. I was so thankful to be a part of that. It's a great time. Have y'all been to Hobtooth's house for coffee? If you haven't, get him. Spend time with one another. Get to know one another. Read Acts 2:42 to 47. There's the answer to church growth. Get involved in each other's lives. Know each other. Be able to take care of each other's needs. And come together to be biblical men and women of God.